Bob goes into the public bathroom and sees this guy standing next to the urinal. The guy has no arms. As Bob's standing there, taking care of business, he wonders to himself how the poor guy is going to take a leak. Bob finishes and starts to leave when the man asks Bob to help him out. Being a kind soul, Bob says, okay, I'll help you. The man asks, can you unzip my zipper? Bob says, okay. Then the man says, can you pull it out for me? Bob replies, yeah. Okay. Bob pulls it out, and it has all kinds of mold, red rashes and scabs all over it, and it smells dreadful. Then the guy asks Bob to point it for him, which Bob does. Bob then shakes it, puts it back in, and zips it up. The guy tells Bob, thanks, I really appreciate it. Bob says, no problem, but what the hell's wrong with your prick? The guy pulls his arms out of his shirt and says, I don't know. But I'm not touching it. An old man and his faithful donkey were walking through the vast and scorching desert, feeling the heat beneath their feet with each step. The old man had been traveling for days without seeing any sign of civilization, and he was starting to worry that he might not make it through the harsh terrain. But as luck would have it, he eventually stumbled upon a small village in the middle of the desert. The villagers welcomed him with open arms, offering him food, water, and a place to rest. They also took care of his donkey, providing it with food and water as well. As they sat down for dinner, the old man was surprised when they offered him a glass of camel milk. He had heard that it was notoriously bad tasting, and he couldn't help but ask about it. The villagers explained that they had been cursed with an everlasting drought, and they were saving every drop of water they could find for their crops. They had resorted to drinking camel milk because it was the only source of liquid they had left. The old man smiled knowingly and said, truth be told, I am one of the wise. I know how to bring you rain. However, you must first bring me a wide bucket full of water, for I need some to bring more. The next morning, the villagers woke up early to collect every drop of water they still had in reserve. They were determined to get their village out of the drought, and they believed that the old man held the key to their salvation. After collecting all the water they could find, they presented it to the old man. He took the bucket, walked into his host's house, and proceeded to take off his dirty clothes. He even started washing them in the bucket of water. One of the curious kids saw him through the window and ran to alert the other villagers. By the time they arrived, the old man had finished washing his clothes and was calmly hanging them to dry. Shame on you, old man, for wasting our water when our kids don't have enough to drink, growled the chief of the village. The other villagers joined in, angry that the old man had tricked them into giving him their precious water. But as soon as the chief finished speaking, the sky darkened as the clouds gathered around the village. It started raining, and it did not stop for 5 days straight. The villagers got their fill, and everyone's reserves were overflowing. The old man was treated as a guest of honor and a hero, and the chief apologized profusely for ever doubting him. Only when he was about to leave did the kid gather the courage to ask about how he did it. It's simple, said the old man with a smile. This always happens when I hang my clothes to dry.